I can tell you that we've been doing a lot of hiring in the last couple of months in our business, mostly because I just want to make sure that we have the team that we need behind us to deliver on everything that we're doing right now. So we've been working with our team and hiring internally. But Jeremy, I'm with you on the hiring thing right now. We've been posting jobs, we've been interviewing and trying to find the best people. If anybody else out there is hiring right now, Indeed is still what I recommend. If you can find people through referrals, that's great too. But I have never been afraid to post jobs, pay to sponsor them and bring in applicants. It's always worked great for me. The one thing I would say though is have a plan for how you're going to evaluate those applicants. I think we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but if you just get a flood of 200 people who say they want to come clean carpets and upholstery for you, man, it's really hard to sift through that pile of people. So what we've been doing with our hiring process is creating like a test that people have to get through in order to prove they are really interested in the job. I did this exact same thing when I had my carpet cleaning business. If we were hiring, I didn't just look through all my applicants and then reach out to every one of them and try to interview them. I also didn't look through them and cut all the people I didn't like and whittle it down to 10 people and just try to interview those people. What I typically did is I would get dozens or sometimes 100 to 200 applicants, and I would send a message back to every single one of them. And I would say, hey, thank you for applying. I'm really interested in working with you and learning more about you. If you could please give me a call at this phone number and leave me a voicemail. I'm not going to answer, just leave me a voicemail and tell me a little about yourself and why you want this job. Or another one I used was call, leave me a voicemail and tell me about a recent customer service experience you had, whether it was good or bad. Maybe it's at the grocery store or the hardware store or something. Just tell me about an experience that you had. And it's a stupid little test, right? To get people to pick up the phone and call. But I literally did that for one reason, just to find out if people were motivated. Because when you're hiring people that are unmotivated is like the biggest thing that will drag your business down. You really truly have to hire A players. And it's really easy to just say hire A players and fire all your B and C players. But how do you find A players? How do you actually get A players when you're getting B, C, D, and F players who are applying to your job, right? People who have been on unemployment perpetually for the last 5 years and they job hop every couple of weeks. You don't want those guys working for you necessarily. So how do you find the A players? I look for motivation. When I post those job postings, I always give people a little test to get them to prove to me that they're actually motivated to get a job. That's how I've approached it. That's how I found some of our best employees. And I continue to do that to this day. That's like my hiring process, actually have people do a little test, call me and leave a voicemail. Right now, I work with people who are building websites and stuff like that. So I have them make me a Loom video, send me a video and prove to me that they're real, that they're motivated, that I could work with them. And the benefit of that too is if you can get them to call and leave you a voicemail or something like that, you'll get to know a little about their personality. You can hear how they talk, how they interact with people, if they're polite, if they're rude, or if they're weird, right? You can get to know people a little before you interview them. So just anything you can do to throw an extra little test in the process. Have that stuff planned out before you interview, and I think you'll do a little bit better. Jeremy, I'm curious, man. It sounds like you just had a successful round of hiring. Maybe it went really easy for you. It doesn't always for me. How did it go? Like, how many applicants did you get? How many did you have to interview to find one good person?
Our strategy is always the same. And so it's self-systemized. So there isn't any like the stress or anxiety of it is completely taken out of it. And basically I follow the same hiring practice we did when I was in tech. The initial response to them is an email with instructions for a time to call. That call is fairly informal, but really it's not about the conversation. It's about that test. Will they call at that specific time? That weeds out a good half of the applicants at least. They either miss that appointment time, they call a day later. It's like clearly you can't follow directions, but for the most part, that gets wiped at least half off the board right away. They do a formal over the phone interview after that. And if they make it past the formal interview, then Sean puts together a list of applicants for in-person interviews, and then we start scheduling our in-person interview. Essentially at that point, the only people that make it to an in-person interview are going to get their job unless they walk in with serial killer vibes. Because at that point, they've already been asked, they should be able to pass the background check, they should be able to go through all the steps necessary, and they've been proven that they can follow directions. Showing up and actually having that appearance, having a presence that isn't off-putting, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's a great process. It's very similar to the process I followed. So by the time somebody got to me for an in-person interview, they were pretty much hired. The way that I handle my in-person interviews, we basically gave every person who showed up to an in-person interview a chance to do an in-person test. We would have them come out and start riding along with us. And at that point, we'd only have a couple applicants anyway. So if I brought 2 or 3 guys out to do ride-alongs, I could get a feel for them really quickly. They could decide if they like the job really quickly. It's usually only 1 or 2 of them would work out. But yeah, like by the time they came to an in-person interview, man, as far as I'm concerned, they're hired unless there's something just off about this person. So I'm with you. And I think that's a great way to do it because ideally you want to get more than one great candidate every time anytime you have a round of hiring, because if you hire one great candidate and something happens, they quit after the first week, they steal somebody's jewelry and you have to fire them. You find out that they're a drunk and they show up to work drunk every day and they can't drive the van or they crash it. Like, stuff just happens, especially in the service industry. I've been through it all, man. So I always like having 2 or 3 applicants from every round that were great, so that if one doesn't work out, I can quickly call the other one and say, hey man, I still got that spot open. Another guy didn't work out, but we were super interested in you. Are you still open to doing a ride along with us? So I always did that. And then the other thing I did is, once I realized that every year I was going to lose a couple of people and I would need to fill their spots, I ended up doing kind of rolling interviews. And I did it twice a year, where I would get a bunch of applicants, get the best of them, hire 1 or 2 if I could, and then keep the rest on hold. And I would do that twice a year, just so that if somebody quit, I could go call that pool of warm applicants and say, hey, I know we spoke 2 months ago. I didn't hire you then, but I just had a position open up. Are you still looking for work? That was always nice to have. It's like having a bunch of leads that you haven't closed, right? You get 100 phone calls over 2 weeks and you only close 50 of them, but your schedule's not full. What can you do? You still have 50 other leads that you didn't close from the last 2 weeks. You could pick the phone up and call those leads again and try to fill the schedule. I think of hiring the same way as lead generation, right? I think of the hiring process like a marketing funnel. I try to play the numbers so that we can all be successful.